Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to review one of my favorites from the New Adventures of He-Man. This is the classic vintage Tharkus, aka Sagitar. This is going to be an epic video. This is an epic toy, so stay tuned. What can I say about Sagitar? Well, he's one of my favorites from the New Adventures of He-Man 1989 vintage toy lineup. I think he was made towards the end of the New Adventures toy line. The cartoon had been finished. It wasn't very popular. The toys were just cluttering up Toys R Us shelves and stuff from what I remember as a kid. And not a lot of people were buying because not a lot of people liked this version of He-Man because he was so different from the Filmation version and the classic Mattel toys. That being said, here's Sagitar. Sorry guys. I needed to give you more of a basis because I know a lot of people out there know who Sagitar is. So he's a good guy. He's an ally to He-Man. He is like a centaur-like being. He comes from a race of similar centaur-like beings. And he usually in the cartoon he has some shades, which I do have his shades, but I haven't painted them yet. So what I mean by that is that he came with one tech sword and a tech shield. And that's what the toy came with. And it came in a deluxe box. It cost an arm and a leg on eBay, as you might have guessed. They're going up $200 boxed, $500 boxed. It was always a grail for me because it's just so expensive and I just wasn't able to buy it because bills and stuff like that. But I managed to get a loose one that is in good condition. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times Sagitar has got this bloody nose syndrome. The paint on his nose is always peeling and the base color red, which is his gear, comes through. So he's like he got like a bloody nose, bloody forehead, bloody face. So it was really hard to find a decent Sagitar because people were selling it loose, $60, $40, but he was just like all bloody nosed. And I managed to get this one, which is incredibly rare. You can just check out his face. It is not bloody at all. It's not peeled. With the exception of one little dot. Right here, you can see the base color. That dot is fine. And he only came with one tech sword. So luckily, this awesome seller on eBay, Bangkok 3D Prints, you can search New Adventures of He-Man Sagitar, and I'm sure his listing will come up. And if it's not, check back later because sometimes people buy the listing and then he'll put it back up. He does a 3D print of the Sagitar weapons. This guy is amazing. His quality of the 3D prints are awesome. And it's like, it'll push you back maybe $30-40 with shipping and all this all said and done. And it's shipping from Thailand, but this is so worth it because the figure looks amazing. So his listing comes with two tech swords and a tech shield. And they are just regular base 3D print color. So they came out all white. And I ended up having to get the paint and get the varnish to put on top of it, the sealer and the matte sealer. And it came out looking great. It's not too glossy. Because the problem with a lot of sealers is that they come out too glossy and then they don't look very authentic because they're so glossy. But this is a matte sealer. I have the kind right here, just in case you're curious. It's just like a little tiny thing I got on Amazon. This is Angelus matte acrylic finisher, and then for the paint I used Testors. I heard that Testors model paint is the way to go, and it is, judging from the results. So now he's got 3 tech swords and a tech shield, one for each arm, which I think is awesome. So anyway, let's take some closer looks at Sagitar. Looking good, Sagitar. The weapons look good. They look authentic. The paint job is awesome. So in the series, he also has a girlfriend, which they never made a figure of her, and she's wearing something of a pink armor and maybe like a blue accent. And it would have been awesome if they used her figure in the toy lineup. There's just so many figures that they didn't complete because the toy line in the cartoon wasn't very popular. Which I wish that Origins He-Man, the new line from Mattel, would touch on that. But the thing is that these aren't in scale with the vintage figures. I mean, Sagitar would probably be good to put with the vintage figures, like the original lineup, but the He-Man toys themselves were just different. They weren't 5.5. They were just a different size. And so these don't really scale well with the vintage 5x5. With the rubber bands and stuff, these are completely different, as you can see. But so you can't really put them together, you know, especially with Origins. But that's why I'm trying to collect all the vintage ones. And here's my setup right here off to the side. It's just a little setup. Got Flipshot and Captain Hydra and Calamar, aka Slushhead. Got various versions of He-Man and Skeletor and Starship Eternia. There's Optic right there. And of course Sagitar complete. So just trying to do what I can with this vintage toy line, because if they redo this for Origins, it's gonna make me want to buy them completely over again, start from scratch. So hopefully they do maybe a couple. Could use a Princess Mara, or Drissy is the name of that blonde girl, I'm just remembering right now, or Krita, which was the evil female one. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if Mattel ever picks up that line again. I really hope they do. So here is option 2 for Sagitar. You can stand him up as a centaur-like creature. And another figure can fit on his back. In fact, I think the box art shows He-Man on his back. A certain version of He-Man, I think. For some reason, all the pictures I see have this version of He-Man on his back. So see how he looks. I think it looks cool. It is definitely strange. It's a new concept. I mean, come on. I mean, a lot of people want to try and make it like sexual or something, but just it's He-Man. Come on, suspend some belief that he's a centaur creature and that he's somehow rideable as a beast into war. So it's not really a big deal, guys. But you know, yeah, it does look funny. Looks great with the 2 tech swords. When you stand him up, this is how he scales with intended He-Man figures. There's another New Adventures He-Man. I think this is like a Thunder Punch He-Man or Thunder Strike He-Man or something like that. This is how he scales along with that figure. Pretty cool. Sagitar's like 2 figures in one. And here is Sagitar on the Starship Eternia manning the turret gun at the very top. So I'm actually going to keep Sagitar down here with the roof of the Starship Eternia, kind of like preventing too much dust from getting on his face, because that's where the red bloody nose thing comes in, because I think that it's too much dust accumulates and it's abrasive after a while to the paint on the toys. So I'm going to keep him down there. He looks great with the collection, still adding to it, but having Sagitar in the collection just solidifies it 100%. Now there's only a few that I really want to get, and then you just get the other ones that they're pretty easy to get. So that's the video for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and can't wait to share more videos of super awesome toys with you. I'll see you later.